I'm the NetherRealm Nobody, and this is the MK10 of Mortal Kombat. Hey everybody, welcome to the MK10 of Mortal Kombat. Now, I'll explain what this is. I actually did an explanation in an introduction video I did on the channel a while back ago, but now I realize this is fucking YouTube. Like, people watch shit out of order all the time. So, this may be your first, exposure to this channel, and I don't want you guys being lost, so here we go. So, what the MK10 is, this is actually a companion series for the Komplete Mortal Kombat series I do. And so if you get a chance, maybe stop this, go check out the Komplete Mortal Kombat. So basically what this is going to be is I'm going to rank the top 10 fighters in Mortal Kombat. But I'm not doing it based on popularity or who I like, the best, or, their skills or whatnot. Now, I'm basing it on their performance from my video, The Komplete Mortal Kombat. And for you wrestling fans out there, this is completely kayfabe. I'm looking at this almost like a sports analyst. Like, imagine like they told the NetherRealm Nobody, they're like, hey, we're going to hire you here at ESPN and you need to cover Mortal Kombat. This is kind of my ranking kind of based on that. So, if you haven't seen the Komplete Mortal Kombat, I urge you to go check it out and then come back here and we'll get started. So here we go. This is the MK10 of Mortal Kombat. And just as luck would have it, there's only 10 characters in Mortal Kombat. So hey, everybody makes the top 10. Everybody gets a participation trophy. So there you go. Alright, so to begin, let's go to number 10, Sub-Zero. And I know right now you're like, wow, that's criminally low, but he didn't have a good outing. I mean, he has the look. He has the powers. But first round, he loses the Scorpion. And not just that, he's killed. Scorpion burns him alive, sets him ablaze. No more Sub-Zero. That ice has melted for sure. Yeah, I mean, my hands are kind of tied on this. And I mean, he's a guy I thought would probably go a little bit further, but first round loss and kill, he's number 10. At number 9, Johnny Cage. It really pains me to put him this low on the top 10. I mean, I think he was an odds-on favorite to win the tournament. I think a lot of people, who, he definitely had the popular vote, I think. I think when people was watching the tournament, they thought, hey, Johnny Cage, he's going to go far. And he just didn't. Now, there's no shame in losing to the eventual winner. He lost to Liu Kang in a first-round match, So you can't really fault him there. But, from what I understand, he kind of entered this tournament to kind of shed that stigma of just being like a Hollywood actor, the phony, the Hollywood phony, if you will. And he tried to shed that, and I don't think he quite proved it. Don't get me wrong, he had an excellent outing. He definitely showed some skill. I think for him, on a personal level, though, he didn't quite live up to what he was hoping to do. And yeah, first round loss. So Johnny Cage, number 9. We go on now to number 8, Sonya Blade. The only female competitor here in Mortal Kombat. Another first round loss, much like Sub-Zero and Johnny Cage. I feel really bad for her, though, because she really wasn't entering the tournament. Like, everyone else signed up for this. They knew what to expect. She was kidnapped and taken into this thing. She was pretty much blackmailed, from what I understand. So it's like, that don't seem fair. But you may be asking, because again, she suffered a first round loss to Kano, which is the man she was chasing before they apprehended her, kidnapped her, and forced her into a tournament. So, she had, a chance to face the man that, she, was chasing, but unfortunately didn't work out for her. You may be asking, why did she get higher than Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero? Sub-Zero, he lost and died. So, first round, loses, dies, bottom. Johnny Cage also, first round, he lost, but he didn't die. Liu Kang spared him. So, he'll live to fight another day. And Sonya was the same way. I kind of expected Kano to kill her, but he didn't for whatever reason. But she ranks higher because when they did the Test Your Might, she actually got to do it. The other two didn't get an opportunity to do it, but she actually got to do it. She walked away with the might level of wood. before she lost her first round match. So, I mean, it's something, it brings her above the other two, So, Sonya Blade, number 8. At number 7, Reptile. He was another person who only, he's walking away like the other 3, 0-1. His thing, though, was no one knew he was even in the tournament. Like Shang Tsung, you could tell at this point, Shang Tsung was getting desperate, tried to stack the deck against Liu Kang, and so he just threw in this secret match. It's pretty much an ambush from Reptile, And, Reptile looked to be tough. He gave, Liu Kang a run for his money, but in the end, Liu Kang did defeat him and put him down. I think the reason why Reptile ranks kind of high on this one is he showed a lot of promise. I feel like if we see him in a further, Mortal Kombat tournament, he may show us something. I think he will get better with time. So right now, he didn't fare too well, but who knows what the future holds for Reptile. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. So, at number 6, we have Raiden. You may be shocked. My gosh, he is, the God of Thunder, the Lord and Protector of Earthrealm. I mean, he's Raiden. He's a deity, And I think a lot of people were shocked. I think he was another one that was an odds-on favorite. And whereas, he does walk away with a record of 1-1, it wasn't a strong outing, So with there only being 7 people in that first round, you knew one of them was going to get a bye, and that wound up being Raiden. He got a bye to the next round. He did defeat his doppelganger, his mirror match, in epic fashion. Dude zapped the guy, blew his head up. Oh, it was sweet. But then he ends up being on the strong side of an endurance match. It was him and Kano teamed up to take on Liu Kang. Now, Kano was the first one out. So Liu Kang, they had an even match, him and Kano, put him down. But then at that point, Liu Kang is gassed. Liu Kang has already went through one match to immediately have to fight Raiden, who, let's remind you, is a god. Now, yes, his god status has been revoked. That's the only way he can compete in this tournament. But he still retained a lot of his powers. I mean, the guy was still lightning bolting and fucking teleporting and shit. So, he had his powers. And yet, Liu Kang was still able to overcome him. And, again, there's no shame in losing to the eventual winner. But at the same time, I think we expected more from the God of Thunder. So, as much as it pains me, I got to put him at number 6. Hands are tied. Hands are tied. But that does now bring us to the top half of the top 10. We're midway through, and I want to know, if you've seen the video, if you've seen, the Komplete Mortal Kombat, and you know what's going on, who would you have ranked, in this order? Am I being fair? Am I giving them a fair shake? Would you have ranked them differently? Let me know in those comment sections down below. So let's move right along, shall we? We're going into number 5, Goro. The powerhouse, this complete domination. Now, again, you're looking at the NetherRealm nobody going, hey, he walked away also with an 0-1 record. What gives? Raiden, who even had a might level. I forgot to mention that. Raiden had the might level of steel. But, and 1-1. Goro, no might level, and he is 0-1. So what gives? This was kind of weighted based on his performance, the actual match. He took on Liu Kang. And I think when you watch that match, you kind of felt like Earthrealm was truly in danger. It was a hell of a fight. Everything Liu Kang threw at him, he either blocked or just completely manhandled. Just would grab him with like 2 arms. Had 2 arms, beating the shit out, and then throwing him to the side. Launching into the air, trying to stomp on it. And I think there's, even though we had faith in Earthrealm, and maybe not even faith, just hope that, someone from Earthrealm would survive just so we wouldn't be taken over, we questioned his match with Goro. And it was a hell of a match, and it was a tough fight. And I just felt like, what? Goro put up a hell of an effort, a lasting impression for sure. On top of that, he has been undefeated for over 500 years. That should count for something. I can't just give him like a J-bro, hey, you're out, and, number 10. No. He's Goro. Prince of the Shokans. Deserves some respect. Put some respect on his name when you put it in your mouth. So, I'm giving him number 5. I feel like that's a respectable number for a respectable combatter. So, moving on down to number 4. Not gonna lie, number 3 and number 4 is a tough toss-up. And I debated, and it may shock and maybe anger some of you that I went this way, but at number 4, Scorpion. Another just iconic badass. He truly came into this tournament like a ball of fire. His very first round was him and Sub-Zero. And as I mentioned earlier, he killed Sub-Zero. He burned his ass alive. And we got the feeling, from what I understand, and I haven't verified it with the officials yet, or haven't really talked to the other combatants yet, but there's some history here. From what I understand, Sub-Zero killed Scorpion, his family, and his clan. And apparently Scorpion was able to broker some kind of deal, get his soul put into his body, and come back from the Netherrealm for this last fight. I should know. I'm from the Netherrealm myself. But I used to, live in Earthrealm. I'm now in Netherrealm. Scorpion's a neighbor. And the guy is psychotic and driven. And so, yeah, I think people thought this guy's going to go. And he did. He went a lot further than everybody else. In fact, of the 7 people from round 1, he definitely made it the furthest. He has a might level of Ruby, which was crazy. His first round match defeated Sub-Zero. Then he defeated his doppelganger in the mirror match. However, this is where it kind of looks bad on Scorpion. So, with the last 4 people who went through the mirror matches, they had the endurance match. Liu Kang went up against Kano and Raiden, which meant Scorpion would receive a bye to the final match. However, after Liu Kang went through 2 guys at once, maybe not once, but one immediately after the other, he was ambushed by Reptile. To which means, when we had that secret match inserted, Scorpion received his 2nd bye in a row. This guy should have been as fresh as a daisy going into this match. And, again, Liu Kang just came off a hellish, endurance match that pushed him to the limit. Then he's jumped by Reptile. Again, another very tough opponent. So, I think a lot of people thought, well, I guess Scorpion's going to be the one that's going to go on to face Goro. And yet, Liu Kang pulled it out. He prevailed in what many people thought was kind of an upset. And, I don't know, just those 2 byes in a row, I just thought Scorpion would have it, and he didn't. So, I had to put him down at 4. Which means, at number 3, Kano. And again, I don't think a lot of people expected much out of Kano. I know I certainly didn't whenever I was watching this tournament. Kano came in, again, he was being chased by Sonya Blade, and he would eventually fight her in the first round, defeating her. He would defeat his doppelganger. He has a might level of steel as well. He would team up with Raiden in the endurance match, and that's where his downfall came. And yes, he has the same record as Scorpion. They're both 2-1. However, I just kind of feel like Kano certainly lost more like a man. Him and Liu Kang were on an even footing going into their fight. Yes, Liu Kang had a hill to climb because he was going to have to fight Raiden immediately after. However, he went up against Kano. They had their fight. Whereas Scorpion rested up for ages before he got a hold of Liu Kang. And Liu Kang at this point was definitely sucking some wind. So I just feel like overall Kano had a better run than, Scorpion. So, sorry, I got production crew back here coughing while I'm talking. We're such a low budget, I can't cover this in editing. I swear, you just can't hire monks from the Outworld to be on your staff. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so, we're moving on now to number 2. Shang Tsung. The guy pulling all the strings. This is, the man of this tournament. And it's one of those things where we didn't know if he's even going to fight. Because again, the former Grand Champion or Grandmaster and Champion of Mortal Kombat was Goro. I don't think anybody thought anybody'd get past Goro. And Shang Tsung could kind of hang back. However, he placed himself at the very end as a failsafe. And that's exactly what happened. He had to face Liu Kang. Now, you may be asking, come on, NetherRealm Nobody. He also has the record of 0-1 in this tournament. Like, what? With him, it was more of a presence, because he definitely let his presence be known throughout this tournament. Not only did he host it, he was kind of looming over this entire presence, or over this entire tournament, like a dark cloud just looming in the distance. When the fighters were fighting in the courtyard, there he was, up on his throne, watching the fighters, combat. You couldn't help but, think of what's on the line. The end of Earthrealm was at stake, and he's reminding you that. They even had a fight in his throne room, his personal throne room. And again, a crowd of one, he's watching you. It's insane. And again, his fingerprints are all over this tournament. And he had an epic battle. The final Mortal Kombat match of him and Liu Kang was just incredible. And so, I'm sorry, I was impressed. And I feel like, you know what? He's getting that number 2 spot. He's getting the number 2 spot. I'm sorry. It's just all there is to it. So, that leaves us with just one person left. I think we all know who I'm talking about. It's no secret, no surprise. I'm talking about Liu Kang. Liu Kang, the new Grandmaster and Champion of Mortal Kombat. The defender of our realm. He has saved us all from annihilation, and we are in debt to the Shaolin monk. He is 7-0 at this tournament. Newly undefeated. He has a might level of diamond. No. Just listen to that. A might level of diamond. The only thing that can cut a diamond is either a laser or another diamond. And Liu Kang smashed through it like it was glass. Just pow! He had an epic showcase during this tournament. In round 1, defeating Liu Kang and showing empathy and just compassion for his fellow fighters. He could have easily killed this guy, and he didn't. Just laid him out with a kick, boom. Kick and uppercut combo, I think is what it was. Took him out. Went on to fight his doppelganger. Now, he did kill the doppelganger. He knocked his ass off a bridge, into the pit, the spikes. It was what it was, right? But they don't have a soul. They're an evil, creation of Shang Tsung. We'll look past it. But then he went against his first true test, the endurance match. Defeated not only Kano, but Lord Raiden immediately afterwards. And I think that was the moment that all the viewers knew, holy shit, he's the real deal. And Shang Tsung knew it too, because at that point he's trying to stack the deck. Now, he bust out a secret match. At the bottom of the pit, Liu Kang took on Reptile and defeated him. Went up against a very fresh Scorpion, who just received 2 buys. Also had a Ruby might level at this point. Took him out. Then went on to his championship match against Goro. Defeated him. However, he wasn't done because Outworld had one last representative in the tournament. He put himself at the end, trying to stack the deck even more. And then Liu Kang finally overcame Shang Tsung to become the champion. And there you guys have it. That is the MK10 of Mortal Kombat. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Either way, I would love to hear your comments down below. We're a new channel. Guess what? No one's really watching this, so I'm going to reply to your comments until this blows up and the NetherRealm Nobody goes Hollywood, and then I'll hire people to take your comments. Some of your comments, listen to it. It may not be me. It'll just be some teenager in high school I'm hiring as an intern to, do my social media for me. But right now, you're talking to the real deal, and I'll get back with you. Guys, seriously, if you do love what you're watching, I would appreciate it. The spiel that everybody gives at the end of these videos. Give me that thumbs up. It would really help us out a lot here. Share, spread the word. The big thing is, it's not so much getting out to just anybody or, casual Mortal Kombat. I want to get out to that Mortal Kombat community, the people who truly love this franchise as much as I do. And the best way I can do that is if you share this on any platform. I just want people to check this out and just kind of share into this, this passion project as much as, I just want people to love this as much as I do. They may not love it, but just at least watch it and give me their thoughts. I would just love to hear what people think about these kind of videos, Of course, if you haven't already, subscribe. That would really help me out. And finally, hit that bell. Or I guess in this case, it's the gong. It's Mortal Kombat. Hit that gong. So that way, anytime I release some new content, you'll be first to be notified. And here's the thing. I'm bulking this up. Like, I got a ton of content. There's a ton of Mortal Kombat games. There's a ton of Mortal Kombat movies. There's a ton of Mortal Kombat content that I have for you. There's no shortage right now. So if you want to get, stay up to date, hit the bell. So guys, that's all I got. I am the NetherRealm Nobody. Thank you for watching, and till next time.